What is up amigos? Hope you're doing awesome. Nodidavaru Enanthare, पड़ोसी क्या कहेंगे, रिश्तेदार क्या कहेंगे, समाज क्या कहेगा? What do people say? That one question, quietly whispered, shouted across streets, hidden in glances and screamed inside our own minds. What will they say if I leave this job? What will they think if I choose someone they don't approve of? What will the neighbors say if my marriage breaks? What will the relatives say if my child turns out to be different? Nodidavaru Enanthare. These three words aren't just the title of a Kannada film. They are the invisible chains that have shackled generations. And in this hauntingly beautiful Kannada film, director Kuldeep Cariappa takes those chains and puts them right in front of our faces, slowly, quietly, asking us, why are we still so scared? But this isn't a film that shouts. It doesn't try to convince you with melodrama. It simply walks with you through Siddharth's life, through the silences that come after a heartbreak, the questions that stay after a parent's death, the emptiness of losing a job, and the calm that follows when you stop running from yourself. This is not just a film review, this is a mirror, and maybe, just maybe, if we're honest with ourselves for the next few minutes, we'll see a little bit of ourselves in Siddharth's story. So Nodidavaru Enanthare follows Siddharth, a young web designer living what most would call a normal life, job, relationship, parents, but like many of us, Siddharth is quietly unraveling inside. A breakup, his father's death, and being laid off push him into a spiral of existential confusion. But instead of clinging, Siddharth lets go of the job, of the city, of the expectations. He sets out not to find something but to understand what he has lost, not externally but within. Naveen Shankar's performance as Siddharth is not loud or performative. It's subtle, internalized and almost meditative. There's a sense that he's not acting but simply existing on screen. You watch him and you feel every conflict between who he is and who he is expected to be. Apurva Bhardwaj as Nadia brings a sense of free-spirited depth. She isn't written as a manic pixie dream girl, but as someone who gently introduces Siddharth to the idea of living without apology. Padmavati Rao as Siddharth's mother, Janki Devi, is the quiet storm of the film. Her scenes are some of the most emotionally difficult simply because they feel too real. Kuldeep Cariappa's direction is poetic, restrained, and deeply philosophical. The cinematography by Ashwin Kennedy complements this mood with sweeping landscapes that echo Siddharth's internal silence. Mayuresh Adhikari's music is not background, it's storytelling in itself. The pacing is slow, deliberately so. This isn't a film made for dopamine-hungry minds. It's made for people willing to sit with their own discomfort, and that's what makes it special. The core theme of Nodidavaru Enanthare is freedom, but not the dramatic kind. It's about the freedom to not succeed, the freedom to say, I don't know what I want, the freedom to choose pain over safety, and most importantly, the freedom to not care what people will say. The title itself is a commentary on our collective obsession with image. From birth, society trains us to be watchful of what others think, say, approve, judge, and this film flips the question back on us. Why does their opinion hold more weight than our own peace? There's a subtle but strong rebellion in this film, a rebellion against conformism. Society tells us there is only one path: wake up, work, earn, settle, and then repeat. Siddharth's struggle mirrors that of Ved in Tamasha, where both protagonists are products of a system that mass produces identities. While Tamasha uses heightened drama and metaphor to express this conflict, Nodidavaru Enanthare demonstrates how rebellion can be quiet, a silent withdrawal from a life dictated by others. Siddharth, much like Ved, is forced to peel off the layers of identity imposed by the society, revealing a self that has long been hidden under the weight of conformity. This film prompts us to question, when did we stop listening to the inner voice that tells us who we truly are? There's also a strong message about parental control. It debates how parents usually want the best for their children, but often through the lens of what others will say. Through the story of the mother, the film holds a mirror on how women are mercilessly judged for choosing themselves. When a man walks out to chase his dreams, he She's called ambitious, but when a woman does the same, even leaving her child in the comfort of a secure home rather than dragging them into her struggle, she's branded selfish. The film understands this nuance, even if society refuses to. Then there's Malana, a humble shepherd who, despite living a small life in the eyes of society, has the wisdom and freedom Siddharth is starving for. The film beautifully contrasts urban noise with rural silence, showing us that the answers we seek often lie away from the crowd. And Nadia, she isn't a love interest in the traditional sense. She's a reminder that life can be soft, wild, unstructured. Through her, Siddharth begins to unlearn everything he was taught about stability, expectations, and masculinity. What Nodidavaru Enanthare really asks is this: what happens when we stop chasing the right life and start living an honest one? It doesn't give you answers, it never claims to. Instead, it asks you questions. Are you living for yourself, or for a version of you that society has constructed? Are you afraid of failure because you'll be disappointed, or because they'll talk? The film is streaming on Amazon Prime Video. Give it a watch. This is not a feel-good film, it's a feel-real film. And if it makes you uncomfortable, that's the point. Because maybe, just maybe, the real journey is not about becoming someone, but unbecoming everything you were told you had to be. In a time where cinema is constantly louder, flashier, and more desperate for attention, Nodidavaru Enanthare is a whisper. And sometimes a whisper is all it takes to break a lifetime of silence. If you've ever felt lost, if you've ever looked at your life and wondered if this is all there is, if you've ever done something just not to disappoint someone else, this film is for you. Watch it not for the story, watch it for the questions it leaves you with. And when the credits roll, ask yourself one thing. When somebody said, Nodidavaru Enanthare, why did you care so much? Thank you for watching today. Please do consider subscribing to the channel, and bye-bye.